The Loves on Pecan Park Road in Jacksonville, Florida, and I wasn't able to get loaded with pallets. I'm gonna have to wait till tomorrow. They must have been already closed. Maybe they only work till noon on Saturdays. I don't know, but I'm supposed to have an 11 o'clock pickup. I'm gonna try to be there at 7 in the morning and get loaded as soon as possible, and get on my way up there to St. Louis and drop those off, and then deadhead up there to Valparaiso, Indiana, to drop this truck off. Unfortunately, I'm gonna have to sit around till Tuesday to get picked up now, because it takes a drive shift and a half to get up to St. Louis, and then I still haven't looked up how far it is from St. Louis to Valparaiso, Indiana, or however you pronounce it. But I don't think it should be too far away from St. Louis. But unfortunately, I wasn't able to pick up those pallets today. I tried. It was only a mile and a half away from where I dropped my cans today, and I had to wait to get unloaded. And some other trucker, DeFi, or can't remember, that the company that's dedicated to come in and out of those places is day cab driver. I was waiting for this guy to get done getting unloaded, and I was doing something on my phone. I looked up, that guy was backing up, and this Nephi guy was already backing in. I don't know how I missed him, but I was waiting right there, and the guy just cut right in front of me. And I was just like, oh, you bastard. But whatever. There wasn't much I could do about it. I think they would have, I think they're supposed to have first dibs to the dock anyway, because they come in and out of there. So, not much I could probably do about it. But I got unloaded, and I tried the other Loves, which was closer, and it was jam-packed full, and this one was too. But I was actually able to find a better spot to park here at this one on Pecan Road. So this one's a little better. It's got the Chesters and the Subway in it. The other one has the Bojangles. So depending on what you like more. And I don't even think, I've got plenty of food that I need to eat up on the truck. I got stuff for sandwiches. I got cheese I can eat. I've got canned food I can cook up in my little Road Pro thing if I want to. So I'm good. And I think I got coffee. Yeah, I'm gonna have some coffee. But looks like I'll be getting home late Tuesday night into Wednesday morning. The wife's got to pick me up, and I tried like hell to get over there and pick up that load of pallets early, and unfortunately I just wasn't able to get there until after 3 o'clock. I can't remember exactly what time, so I'm just gonna get up at like 6 o'clock or something, get fresh coffee and tea, get over there and try to get that load of pallets and get my butt up to as far as I can. It takes a drive shift and a half to get up to St. Louis in this truck. So we will see how good that goes. I ran into a lot of slow ups with torrential rainstorms and new construction zones that weren't there last time I came through that really slowed me down. And I got slowed down a little bit in um, Atlanta, but not too bad. I got pretty well right through there. But the new construction zones and the torrential downstorm, people were driving like 20 miles an hour and crap, and really slowed me down because I couldn't get around them. The traffic was thick, like rush hour traffic thick, so wasn't much I could do about it. But I gonna be giving the guy at Midwest Viking, a call Monday, letting them know that I will be ready to orientation on Friday. So, if I didn't tell you guys already, I don't think I did, because hey Jeremy, I found out this morning that the place I'm going to in Valparaiso is a school, and there should be a place for me to turn in my keys and my fuel card, and they're gonna reimburse me the $430 some odd dollars I've already paid on this inverter. They're gonna reimburse me, and so I can just leave it on the truck, because I don't need the thing and I don't want the hassle of having to sell it. I still can't believe that they're such cheap asses that they want to force people to buy that stuff. That's stuff that they should be supplying. I can understand them not supplying stuff like fridges, CBs, microwaves, all those type of things, because drivers will tear the shit out of those, especially with a company with newbies. This guy is all up on the curb trying to get into this spot. Come on, hold her steady. They're definitely jam-packing them up in here. Looks like he got in there good. I thought he was going to be all over the place, even worse. But whatever. So, how's it going, Jeremy? What are you up to tonight? I'm just hanging out till morning. I've already got 3 hours in the sleeper berth. I got here around 3:30 or so. And like I said, I'm gonna get up at 6 o'clock, try to go pick up I gave Sierra England the chance. I gave them 3 months to get their act straight, and I just can't do it no more. Going to the club in Dallas tonight? Alright, have fun, man. So I'm hoping driving for this smaller company is gonna work. I do not like job hopping. I really don't. I want to stay. I'm hoping this is gonna work out so that I can just stay where I'm at and make good money. So I gave them a chance, and they turned out to be totally ridiculous in how bad they fucked up. I cannot believe how bad Man, I thought he was going to run into that guy next to me. Yeah, I drove for England too back in 2000, and they just they just don't have a plan. I don't know if it's the whole company that's fucked up or if it's just the people trying to do all this Anheuser-Busch account crap, because they're trying to hire so many new people all at once, so many new drivers and so many new dispatchers, and training those and having new account managers and this and that and blah blah blah. And they're just a nightmare. And when I got when I got my point of contact, and I tell them I got 4 bobtails waiting to get empty trailers. When that was down here in Jacksonville at the Anheuser-Busch, and what was that? They tried to screw out of the industry. Well, they're just getting too big, and they're just getting. I don't. If this is the way that they do business, I don't know how they're staying in business. Because I heard that there was a lot of drivers that tried to screw you out of the industry. But they just don't know what they're doing. They got too many new people. They have set themselves up for failure with this Anheuser-Busch thing. I do not know if the other parts of Sierra England are running smoother, pulling cheap freight. But they definitely are screwing up this Anheuser-Busch thing. And how patient can you expect? Yeah. Hey, Johnny. Yep, they're just trying to do too much too quick, and they're just screwing it up. They didn't have much of a plan. It's just like they were just trying to hurry up and hustle and get everything kind of thrown together, and they just got too many new people, and trying to train too many new things. And then on top of it, it seems like this platform science tablet that they got is a new system for them, and they're trying to all learn that. So they're learning a new LD system. They're trying to throw together a whole bunch of drivers and new account managers and new driver managers and dispatchers or whatever. All these people that they need in order to make this work, and to separate it out into the different areas that they need to have the people in. And they're just trying to do too much too quickly. Yep, I think this Midwest Viking is gonna be a good deal. As long as they can keep me busy, I can run my butt off. Because I find that a lot of drivers these days just don't like to run their butt off as much as I try to. And I try to go from one place to the next, to the next, to the next, and try to only sit for my 10-hour breaks and get going. Even with me doing videos for my YouTube channel, I save that for my off time and try to plan out. If I know I'm going somewhere where I might have the opportunity to do a video, I plan that all out on how I can do that without slowing myself down too much. But unfortunately, some of the videos I want to do, I need another person around to do the filming. to follow me and watch what I'm doing. Like, I want to do some more backing videos, and there's some other things I want to do, and they're harder to do when you're by yourself. They're not impossible to do, but it takes a lot of finesse, and a lot of the places I'm going to, I don't think that me pulling out a tripod with a video camera is gonna go over too well. That's good. What company is that again? I know you've told me before, but it's been a while. And I'm gonna have plenty of time to get my stuff rounded up and be ready to hop on in my wife's car. I wonder how big this place is in Valparaiso, if they've got a big place. Milan Logistics out of Texas. Yeah. I want to do a line haul out of Des Moines that I can be home every day or night and I need to bring home roughly $4,000 to make it work. And I'm hoping I'll be able to pull that off at Midwest Viking and still be home every weekend. And being that they're located right in my hometown, I'm hoping that gives me the opportunity that when I come through and I need to take a 10-hour break, and if it happens to be when I'm coming through the area, I can just park right there, take my van, go home, and come back. I'll have my van right there and everything. I'll have opportunities. When I worked at Bay and Bay, they were close enough to the house, just being roughly 3 hours away, that I was running by the house, that I had the opportunity to stop and go visit the kids and stuff on my 10-hour breaks or whatever. Yeah, they said they were gonna. They said they already got a CB. He said they would have a fridge in there. They already have an inverter in there. So, I don't know which truck exactly that I'm gonna have, but I think it's gonna go pretty nice. I'll have a truck that goes 72 miles an hour. I'll be able to kick some ass and take some names and get some stuff done. As long as they can keep up with me and keep me have a load ready for me to go do next. Hopefully I can drop off and pick up in the same places and stuff like that. So I'm hoping. The guy said that does the dispatching. I met the guy. He said, I'll run you as hard as you want me to run you. Okay, we'll see what happens. It's a smaller place. I see these people. At CR England, I can't even get anybody on the darn phone half the time. It's gotten better here the last few weeks, but then I keep getting, every 2 weeks I get a new person. So the other guy, Carlos, that I talk to every so often, he's got less than a year of experience of driving, and I guess if I remember right, he said he started at Swift, and then he came over here, and he's been looking for something else. He lives here in Georgia somewhere. So he's looking for something, but told him to kind of be careful, because when you only have a little amount of experience, it's hard to get those good jobs a lot of times. But you just never know. They let you put a 3,000 watt inverter in there. You can go 80, 85. You live in Georgia? I live in Iowa, and I am surprised that Des Moines, being it's like right in the center, as well, pretty much directly in the center of the United States, there isn't a lot more hubs of trucking companies located in the Des Moines area. But I notice most most usually going through Des Moines to get to somewhere else, going one direction or another, either going north, south, east, west, or whatever, but you're usually going through Des Moines to get to somewhere else. I don't, there is freight that comes in and out of Des Moines, but in retrospect, there's not that there's not that much in Des Moines, and I'm surprised that there isn't more than what there is, because it's right in the center of the United States. You'd think that there would be, um, you know, more companies with trucking schools and things like that located in the area of Des Moines. Yeah, I know. Um, I was just talking to one of my ex-co-drivers last night, um, but it wasn't last night that she told me. The last time I talked to her a few days ago, she told me that Magnum, where she works out of Des Moines, they're about to start pulling freight for John Deere, and it's going to be a dedicated account for them. And I have a John Deere like within like 4 or 5 blocks of my house. And I thought about it. I wondered if I could get a job either as a driver or something else right there. I mean, it's literally just a few blocks away from where I live in Ankeny. The north side of Ankeny right there. There's a John Deere plant right there that they got trucks going in and out all the time. And I thought about looking into it a little bit. I just haven't done it. KLLM polls for Tyson. That Billy Alston that I did an interview when I was at Bay and Bay, he just left Bay and Bay and went to go pull freight for Tyson. I want to say that he went to CFI and he's pulling dedicated freight for Tyson. If memory serves, that's what it is. Yeah. A lot of these companies have dedicated accounts to some of these places so they can serve them. And I'm sure for a lot of these companies it works when they work it right. I can't believe I was actually late to this Biaggi's this morning. I ran into enough slow ups that when I said I was going to be there and I even added time, I wound up being wrong because I run into slow traffic because of all the new construction zones, torrential downstorms, bogged up traffic for no apparent reason, and I just kept running into slow ups with slow traffic, and I couldn't get around people. And having a truck that only goes 65 kind of hinders you as well. So oh really? That's cool. So, like I said, I'll be pulling out of here at about 6 in the morning. I did think about going ahead and doing what I got to do here and going ahead and just going back up to the pallet place after I make sure I've used the bathroom and do whatever I absolutely have to do here. Decide whether I want to take a shower or not, or wait. And then go ahead and drive back over to the pallet place and just be there for whenever they open up. And hopefully they'll be ready to load me up as soon as they open up. I don't know how soon what their hours are. I don't even know. Does this thing tell me there? Sometimes they put the hours of these places on here. Sometimes I've seen it on here. Let me see if I can find it. Come on. Location, unavailable. Nope. They don't have it on here this time. But sometimes they have had the hours of the places on here on one of these screens. It doesn't doesn't seem to be on this one. There's been some of them that they have put the hours of operation of the customers they're going to. I don't pay much attention to it though. But we'll see what happens. I'll be excited to start this new job and get the heck out of this goofy company. I gave them a chance. I gave them a chance. I wanted to give them the benefit of the doubt that you know, just because they have a bad reputation doesn't mean they're necessarily bad, and they totally fucked that up. Get off YouTube. My wife's telling me to get off YouTube. She must want me to call her. But anyhow, gonna figure out. Oh, you're just being smart, huh? That's my wife right there. Pook B, that's my wife. She's the one that's gonna have to drive over and pick me up in Valparaiso. She's gonna have about a 6-hour drive to come get me. Yeah, that's the problem. I mean, it's a trade-off between pay and home time. There are a few gem jobs out there, but it's hard to find them when they're available, because the guys that get those jobs don't let go of them. They hold on to them. So it's hard to find those diamonds in the rough. They're out there, and I'm sure that there might even be something I just haven't stumbled upon where I live. It's just rifling through the gazillion jobs that could possibly be available and finding that one job. I was excited all to hell to get that job where my friend George works. And it was gonna be home. It was gonna be driving Sunday through Thursday. They pay $220 every weeknight, and $270 on the weekends, on the weekend days. And when I did the math, I was gonna be my take home. I'm still at Sierra England until about Tuesday. I'm dropping off the truck at Valparaiso, Indiana, and I'm going to go work for Midwest Viking out of Ankeny, Iowa, where I live. Yeah, that's the kind of money I need to make right there. That's exactly the amount of bring home money I need to make in order to make things, to make ends meet. I need to make at least 4,000 or more. And this getting paid on Tuesday crap that Sierra England does is the dumbest thing I've ever seen. I've heard of companies paying on, like when I was at CRST, they paid on Tuesdays and Thursdays, I think. Or was it back in the day? Maybe it was Sierra England back in 2000. Hi, Gabby. You watching Daddy on YouTube? That'd be my 6-year-old. Hi, Gabby. Hi, Elena, if you're there watching. I don't know if you are. And hi, Diamond, if you happen to be watching too. So those are my 3 daughters. Gabrielle, Elena, and Diamond. And that's from youngest to oldest. But now I forgot my train of thought of what I was talking about. But I was excited about doing that, and being home every day, off on the weekends, and that would have been awesome. That would have been awesome to do that. I tried where my ex co-driver Heather drives, and they got like a $3,000 sign-on bonus, but they didn't have I think they kind of, no, they did orientation through like a Zoom meeting like situation at several locations. They had a location in Texas and a couple other places, and they had them all up on the screen doing orientation. And but yeah, they're just all messed up. It took them forever to get us going in a truck, and then we finally got us in the truck rolling. They deadheaded us with a trailer. Well, this is what they did to me, and a lot of the guys did similar things, but I think some people did slightly different variations of what I did. They had me grab, after that day I got this truck, I sat for, what was it, 2 days, and then they had me grab a trailer, an empty trailer, and I deadheaded from Salt Lake City out to Pennsylvania, dropped off a trailer at this place where they kind of sardine can all these trailers in, and it's one of those places like a gravel lot back behind a shop, and they're all kind of sardine canned in, and all kind of weird. I don't know how many of you guys have been to trailer places like that. Hey, Diamond. And then I dropped the trailer, and then I had to bobtail from the place in Pennsylvania to Glade Springs, Virginia, which was about 450 miles, something like that. It was 400 some miles to Glade Spring, to the utility trailer place where I picked up my first brand new trailer, and then I brought that to Cartersville to the Anheuser-Busch there, sat at the TA all the next day. Pretty much every other day I went. They started sending me up to grab brand new trailers up at that trailer place in Glade Spring. It was about 4.5, 5 hours up there and about that, and then right back to that Anheuser-Busch to drop it off. I did that 4 times, and then the 5th time that they had me go pick up a trailer, I picked up an empty trailer, went to Northern Virginia, to an Anheuser-Busch, actually picked up a load of beer and took it to I can't remember exactly. I could probably tell you because I write everything down in this little book here. Maybe. Maybe not. I think I might have started this book after I used my other book for a little while. Let me look here. Yeah. Hi, Elena. My girls are watching me on here, so I gotta censor myself a little bit. Hi, girls. You girls having snacks tonight, or is Mom making you wait? But anyway, they finally got me going, and then once we got going, I started picking up empty beer cans and pallets, going to Buskey in Houston, over here to Jacksonville, and back and forth from Buskey to Jacksonville for a little bit, and then they went to LA, and then Fort Collins, Colorado, and back to Buskey and Jacksonville and St. Louis. It's been kind of St. Louis, Jacksonville, sometimes to Montclair or that area of LA anyway, and Jacksonville, Florida, Houston, Fort Collins, and St. Louis. It's been kind of bouncing back and forth between those places for the most part. And when I come off of home time, it's like they're always gonna have me go pick up a load in St. Louis, and it starts out being something like in Wisconsin or something north. All right, man. You get some sleep so you can drive good, man. I've got some time up before I get up, so I'm gonna go back to watching my Dexter here in a little bit. And I'm excited for the new Dexter shows that they're getting ready to come out with, to see what they're going to do with that. They got Dexter Resurrection, Dexter New Blood, and Dexter whatever it is, where Young Blood or whatever it's called, for showing how Dexter became Dexter, the early days basically. And then they got Dexter Resurrection. Original Sin and Revelation are the new ones. Revelation? Okay. My wife keeps up with all this stuff. She reads articles and checks out all kinds of stuff, so she knows about it all and tells me about it. If it wasn't for her, I probably wouldn't know anything until 3 years later and be watching it after it's been out a while. So, but I'll have time to go see Deadpool Wolverine when I get home. That'll be awesome. Me and my wife will go check that out. I've been excited to go see that. That's like a springboard for like a multitude of superhero movies to come out from the Marvel universe, from the different, they're just bringing everything together. They got all kinds of cameos and all kinds of superhero movies getting ready to come out that are going to springboard off of that movie over the next several years. So that'll be awesome to see how they do that. I talked with Brad, and one of the Chads came out and gave me a drive test I haven't met the third Chad. There is a Brad and two Chads, I believe, is what I was told if I heard them right. And they both seem like super nice guys. Everybody I talked to there seemed like super nice guys. So I'm just hoping they can keep me running. Hopefully they can keep up with me, because not that I'm anything special. I just don't mess around. I work my clock and I stay behind the wheel. I jump in the driver's seat when I got my 10-hour break in. So I'm hoping very, very much that this works out, because I do not want to. What did she say? She's texting me. Oh, she wants me to call her when I get done with my YouTube thing. So, yeah, I just don't mess around. My ex-co-driver Bill, he even makes better times than I do, because he's more aggressive. I used to be more aggressive of a driver, but I have kind of toned down my aggressive drivingness over the years. Some of that has to do with all the vehicles I've had, all the trucks I've had to drive with cameras and the proximity sensors, the lane sensors. Yeah, I imagine it will. It'll be nice having, working out of a place that's located right down the street from where I live. And then I'll have a place to park the truck when I go home for a little bit. So I'm planning on busting butt, getting in the truck and going. I'm gonna tell them I'll be ready. I'll be there soon as the roads let me. Soon as weather and road conditions let me, I will be there within the limitations of the truck and all that stuff. One of the things that has slowed me down at Sea England is they don't even have PC available on this thing. So I can't even PC from a place. You have to get permission to use PC here. I was using PC like a motherfucker when I was. Nope, I'm in Florida. I wasn't able to pick up my pallets today. I went over there. It was between 3 and 4 o'clock and no one was there, no cars. So I'm going to have to go back in the morning. My appointment's supposed to be for 11 tomorrow. I'm going to be there hopefully by 7, 8 o'clock, get loaded and get my butt heading for St. Louis to get dropped off, because I know the place in St. Louis will unload me as soon as I get there. Yeah, don't mess with it. Don't come to Sea England to do the Anheuser-Busch, because they are fucking it up, and you don't want to go do it until they get their act together. Go somewhere else. Go to anywhere else, because I cannot tell you that this is a good thing right now, because they got entirely too many new people getting hired across the board. Drivers, dispatchers, load planners, people in charge. They got way too many new people, and they just don't know what they're doing. And I would suggest going somewhere else. I came here, I gave them 3 months to get their how long has it been? I mean, I'd have to go back in my videos from when I first got there to Sea England. I don't know when exactly that was, It's been approximately 3.5 months maybe. I was gonna go through to my video, go back through my videos and see when I first got going and all those videos I did. So I tried to give Sierra England the benefit of the doubt. I gave him a chance even after I had a bunch of you guys on my YouTube channel telling me not to come here. And I figured, oh, I'm going to come and do all 100% drop and hook loads. It has not been 100% drop and hooks. I think I might have had one legit drop and hook load from pickup to drop. Maybe one, maybe two. Everything else has been picking up empty beer cans, live loading, and taking them to another location, getting live unloaded. They've kept me busy. The paychecks have been kind of steady lately, but they give you like $200 or something like that for layover pay when you sit. But at this particular moment in time, I cannot, what's the word I'm looking for? I cannot recommend anybody coming to do the Anheuser-Busch part. As far as other parts of Sierra England, I do not know. Until they get their act straight, until they get things fine-tuned, I can't say that this is a good thing for you to do right now. They're starting to keep drivers on the move, but they're not. It has not been drop and hook. That's why I came here, because when I was in Bay and Bay, I was running so early because they gave me so much insane time to get from my pickup to my drop that I was sitting for like 24 hours before I could drop my load, and it was pissing me off and it got me perturbed. And I think if I would have stayed at Bay and Bay, they might have started to keep up with me after that conversation with my dispatcher and the guy that was her boss. But after he told me, oh, we don't know where you're at, we can't look you up. Isn't that their friggin' job? That's a dispatcher's job to know where their trucks are at. It doesn't matter how many drivers a dispatcher has and a load planner has to load plan for. They should know within some reasonable amount where their drivers are at and how soon they're going to be there. That's why you're supposed to send in ETAs, and that's why it is a dispatcher's job to learn who their runners are very quickly, who their guys are that run their butt off, and who their people are that will pull their truck over if they see a raindrop, if it becomes nighttime, a raindrop, a snowflake, or whatever. If you got those drivers that will pull over for stupid crap because they're afraid to drive, or they can't drive at nighttime, or they won't drive during when the sun's up because they will only drive at night, you got those drivers as well. You got drivers that if they see snow, they see weather, they pull it over. I can't drive anymore, can't do it. I saw a raindrop, I gotta pull it over. That's not me. I keep driving. I'll drive through a hurricane. That's just me. But not everybody is like me. Not everybody will continue to drive when they see weather. Some of you guys will play it safe and pull off. I'm liable to keep driving unless I just think it's so bad that I don't feel safe. But it has to be pretty bad, because I have driven through hell and back again. I'm used to going. I'm used to, unless they close the road, I'm going. I just don't care. I will just slow down a little bit if I feel I have to, but I will keep going. And I'm the guy that you see out there passing the guys going slow on the bad roads, I will slowly go around and then speed back up and go around. I don't care. I will keep going. That is me. But not everybody is like me. Some of you guys don't feel safe doing that. You gotta drive how you feel comfortable. But I am a runner. I'll get out there and drive my butt off. And the only thing stopping me from driving is my hours, my hours on my clock, whether or not they close the road down, and whether or not I can drop my load and keep going, stuff like that. Whether or not I have to stop because I have no hours left. I can chain when I know how to put chains on tires, and I know the chain law out west of Denver. I do not know the chain law anywhere else because I've never chained anywhere else. But I know how to put them on, and I'm not afraid to get out and do it. And that's just my personal opinion, that if you're a truck driver and you're driving all over the country, if you're driving the full 48 and you're going to drive through mountain areas, you better know how to chain, and you better not be afraid to get out and chain. Because most of the time, just because they put the chain law up, a lot of guys tell me if it's bad enough to chain, it's too bad for me to drive. That's not necessarily the case. It just means it's a little slicker out, and by putting chains on, you can keep going. And like Vail and them, you will make better time putting chains on, driving 35 miles an hour with your differential on. Once you got chains on, get your butt over those mountains and unchain on the other side, and then you might not be able to go 65 or whatever through the mountains like you would if you didn't have to go slower, because you don't want to go over 35 with your differential on. You don't want to drive over 35 with chains on, because you'll tear the fuck out of them. And if they start wearing through, they start coming loose, they start busting crap up, like the plastic fenders, and fucking up tires and doing all kinds of damage as they start wearing through and start wrapping on stuff. And if you can't find a safe place to pull over and pull those off and maybe put new ones on or whatever, because if they fall on the inside of the tire in between the two dualies, it's going to start fucking shit up. It's going to rip your crossfires up, the airlines that are shared between the two dualies. It'll rip those off. It'll cause you to have a flat. It could fuck up the tires, give you a flats, and all. You can have all kinds of problems. So you just got to know what you're doing. And I've never used bungees. I just used the chains themselves. Tighten those puppies up. Watch my chaining video, the best video I have of chaining up, because my 3-part video, which is very long, stupidly long, you can go watch those as well, but I did some things wrong in those videos. My best video, where I did everything pretty much right, I caught my mistakes in that video, but I did kind of a narration voiceover style video. I started doing some video on my laptop in my office at home right in the beginning and end of the video, but I did narrate voiceover of me doing GoPro video footage of me chaining up, and I showed exactly what it takes. And when you film stuff, it takes longer. A lot of drivers can stop and chain up in about 6 to 10 minutes once you get used to doing it, and it's not a big deal. It's really not. Once you know how to do it and you know how to get them on there and get them on there tight, you get them on there, drive a little bit, pull over, retighten them up because you want them on as tight as possible, and get your butt going. So, but I will adamantly try to tell everybody that y'all need to learn how to chain if you don't. It is a skill worth having. It'll save you time and money, because most of the time when that chain law goes up, it's just a little slicker out, and they're trucks that can't get enough traction to get up are screwing up. Cars have been screwing up, and you got guys that are just not using their noggin and being stupid. And so when they get enough people that are not able to make it up, and they're having to stop and chain on the side of the road in inappropriate places, as the DOT sees enough of that, they throw the chain law up. No big deal. Stop, throw chains on, get your butt going. Most of the time it's not that big of a deal. Some of the other mountain ranges I've heard are a little longer, where it's more miles to get over the mountains. Like I've heard Donner Pass is more like 40 some odd miles across maybe. I have never chained on there. I've only driven through there, I think, in summertime, so I've never had to chain there. The only place I've ever chained is Eisenhower Johnson Tunnel area. What is it right before there? It is I forget those first big hills when you first come out of Denver, up by the where you view the buffalo or the bison or whatever. I'm trying to remember what the name of that. Hosa? Yeah, Hosa. You come over the hills of Hosa, and then you come down through Idaho Springs, through that area, and then you go through not St. George. What is it? George something. It's another one of the George towns, like Georgetown. Anyway, you climb up you start climbing up right there at Georgetown, going up to the Eisenhower Johnson tunnels. You might have to chain up there if that's bad. Get through there, you come back down, and then you go so far, and then you're going over a veil. Those are pretty much the areas where I've had to chain. I'm very familiar with chaining there, going back and forth both directions, and I'm so familiar with doing it through there, and it's not that big of a deal. Other places, I couldn't tell you. I haven't done it there. No experience doing it other places, but if I had to do it, I could. As long as I got a chaining wrench and whatever. Brand new chains are easier to chain with. Older chains are got all the rust dust on them, and you'll get dirty. You're gonna get dirty. You're gonna get all messed up. You're gonna get cold. Your hands are gonna get cold. I can't seem to connect the hooks onto the other parts of the chains with gloves on. I have to take my gloves off and go barehanded, and I freeze my hands practically right off trying to do that, because I just can't get good enough grip. I mean, it's a pain in the ass, but once you learn what you're doing, it's not that bad. I suggest anybody doing it, if you're going to be going through the mountains during winter time, and if there's any chance of there being a chain law going up, I hope you know how to chain, because you do not want to get caught out there not knowing how to chain. Hopefully you at least have chains, four to six chains on your truck, because if you get caught without chains, you can get a hefty fine. If you get caught, you can't just hang out in the chain station. They got a 30-minute limit, and if it's the chain law up and there's a bunch of trucks trying to chain up, they're usually state patrols coming around. You'll just be pulled in there, come and go, hurry up. They'll walk by, hurry up, man, hurry up. They're trying to push everybody out of there. You'll just get parked in there, and they'll be yelling at you to get out of there. And then you got to be careful, because some of those chain stations are literally right next to the road, and you got to watch out for the cars and other trucks coming by the chain stations. If you don't have a chain station that it pulls into, like off the shoulder of the road, the chain stations that are like just like an extra wide shoulder off the road are way too close for comfort to the traffic. But the ones that have a pull off area to go chain are a lot better to chain with, because you're safer, a lot less likely to get ran over by stupid cars and other truck drivers who are impatient. But it can be unsafe. Kind of. They treat all their drivers like they don't know what they're doing, because they're a company that has a school. So they're treating all their drivers as if they don't know how to drive. They're giving you all kinds of safety things. You got to do a mandatory safety video the first few days of every month. Mandatory, or they'll won't dispatch you. If and then they got these stupid call things that you're supposed to participate and call in and be a part of these stupid basically where you call in and you're like talking with, there's a bunch of drivers, and it's a conference call basically with different people from the back at the CR England, dispatchers, some of the big wigs, guys. I mean, they got different departments on there, and dispatchers, and the IT gal, and different people. They do not have driver facing cameras yet. They just have cameras facing that way. I've got a camera that faces the road, and they kind of make a big deal about stupid stuff. In my opinion, they've sent me videos telling me that I got cut off by other truckers and I never hit my brakes. Our policy is you got to hit your brakes, even if they're pulling away from you and they were out of your radar range, because these trucks these days got the lane sensors and the proximity sensors that read how close you are to vehicles in front of you. And when they get the videos, because they get set off, and if you're not doing what they think you should be doing. But all the videos that they've taken of me have been BS. Have not been big deals. They've been dumb. But just I'd go somewhere else, because Bay and Bay was not a bad company. If you've already got some years of experience, Bay and Bay was not a bad company. They just need to learn not to give you so much time to get places, and you've got to make them realize, hey, I don't need 3 days to get somewhere that I can do in 2 drive shifts. So that just annoyed the crap out of me. But I need to call my wife. She's trying to put the kids in bed. They want to probably say goodnight to me if they haven't already been put to bed and stuff like that. And I will be probably doing another live feed tomorrow-ish, because I'm not going to make it all the way to St. Louis tomorrow. Obviously, takes a drive shift. It's about 14 and a half hours roughly in this truck to get from Jacksonville, Florida. You're welcome, Christopher. It's approximately 14 hours, give or take, in this truck if I don't have any slow ups, to get from Jacksonville, Florida to St. Louis, Missouri. And um, so I'm not going to make it there tomorrow. I'm going to get there like Monday sometime. And then however many hours, I haven't looked it up. I haven't looked up how many hours it is from St. Louis to Valparaiso, Indiana. I imagine it's not very far. I'm thinking it's probably 3 to 6 hours at the most. But I haven't looked it up yet. I haven't bothered to. But I know that after I get to St. Louis, I'll almost be to Valparaiso, Indiana, to their yard, and I'm gonna have to hang out there a little while until my wife can get there to pick me up. And hopefully, it's not going to be that big of a deal. But they did reimburse me for this stupid inverter, 430, 50, 450 bucks, whatever I had paid. They're going to reimburse me and keep the stupid thing because I don't need it. I have no reason to keep an inverter. I'm not going to take it with me. The place I'm going has inverters. They have a fridge. They have a CB. Hopefully a better range than the one that I put into this truck in Bay and Bay, because I didn't have range worth of crap on my CB, and I never felt like I had the money to go into a CB shop and get something tweaked. I want to get about, I don't know how many hundreds of dollars saved up before I go do something like that. But anymore, having a CB on the truck is kind of, most people don't talk on them anyway. It's nice to have, but half the time people don't respond when you talk to them. People ignore you. Even if they have it on, they hear what you're saying if you're bitching them out because they do something stupid or whatever. People that do have them on, if they have one, which the majority of truck drivers don't even seem to have a CB on their truck. So having a CB isn't as important as it used to be a few years ago. Since cell phones come about, people are too busy on their phones. They're watching their shows while they're driving, even if they're not supposed to be. They're talking on the phone, doing all that. I remember back in 2000, we didn't have cell phones. We had to call and use pay phones or whatever in order to make phone calls. There was cell phones around, but they were a very premature thing. That was back in the day of those cell phones that were like bricks. And it wasn't till like 2003 when I got my first cell phone through US Cellular. I had a simple flip phone for the longest time. And then I started getting other phones. Then I got into the prepaid ones and yada, yada, yada. And now fast forward 24 years later. Yeah. It's just the way things are now. Now you can't hardly get through life without having a cell phone with 50 million apps to run your life. You got to have an app for everything. You got to have an app to work at your company because everybody's got an app now. You got to have an app for just about everything you do anymore on your phone because everybody's got a cell phone, so everybody's got pretty much a smartphone, and everybody's got an app in order for you to be able to manage whatever you're trying to do, whether it's paying your bills or driving for companies or doing whatever. And it wasn't very long ago that, we all learned how to get along without cell phones. We didn't have Google. We didn't have Google Maps. We didn't have GPSs. We didn't have all this stuff. We had to get along with maps and exit guides and customer directions and directions from the company and trying to memorize things. Now nobody's memorizing crap. They're just using their GPS to get down the road. You know, they're kind of like my wife, who, she'll use Google Maps to go down. She's not as bad as she used to be, because now she remembers how to just at least get around town. But she'd use Google Maps to go do everything. She'd use it when we first moved to our house to go everywhere. And I'd tell her, make sure you're looking at that map to make sure that it's not sending you around Jack Robinson's barn just to go somewhere. Because all GPSs will send you all over hell and back just to go somewhere that might be right down the block down the street. Because for whatever reason it thinks that you cannot go straight down the road 2 blocks. Instead, it thinks you have to go 10 blocks that way, 15 blocks that way, and 10 blocks back or something, or do some ridiculous crap, because it doesn't think that you can take all kinds of different ways that you could have probably gone right down the street. So every GPS, trucker's GPS is included. Doesn't matter if it's been updated or whatever. So anyway, I'm gonna jump off here, guys. I gotta call the wife, and then I'm going to relax a little bit, and I'm going to go to bed and get up early and get my butt over there to the pallet place, and hopefully I get loaded right away, and hopefully I get down the road right away, and all that kind of jazz. And I'll probably be doing a lot of a live feed sometime tomorrow evening ish. We'll see what kind of time I make. Might be late, might be about the same time, whatever. But I'll keep you guys posted on how things are going. And I'm going to start trying to get some more other videos, some edited videos going. But I don't even have my laptop and my camera and all that stuff is at home. I'm stuck doing YouTube through my phone. And I'm just doing stuff through my phone and whatever. I've got bare minimum on the truck. So thanks, guys, for coming by and hanging out and all that stuff. And hope everybody's doing well. And wish me luck that this Midwest Viking thing works out, and that it's a good match and I'm able to stay there for a while and make it work. Hopefully it is a good match and it becomes like Alan Ritchie, where I have an awesome boss. It seems like those guys are very nice people to work for. It's a smaller company. Communication should be a hell of a lot better than it has been here, because this place has been sucky with communication and dealing with people that don't even know what a bobtail is. And what do you mean bobtail? That just threw me for a loop. You're supposed to be some sort of dispatcher like person. You're supposed to be an account manager and you don't know what a bobtail is. You're supposed to be, and then when I talk to you a few days later, I tell you that the loader's been refused because you guys didn't give me an updated time to show up, so I showed up 3 hours late, and it wasn't my fault. And they're telling me they're refusing the load, and you tell me, what do you mean load refused? So that does not bode well when the people who are in charge of you doing your crap don't know the lingo. And you got to teach them. You got to tell them, what's a bobtail? What do you mean bobtail? Trucks without trailers. So maybe I'll do a video on trucking lingo. Simple one. Would I cover everything though? Would I be able to cover everything? Would I remember everything? So anyway, talk to you guys later. Thanks for coming by. I gotta call the wife. Bye. Okay. Catch you guys next video.